What's going on, everybody? Welcome to Tales of the Gig number 4, Accident on the Highway in the USA. Again, everyone, I want your Tales of the Gig as well, too. Please feel free to take a selfie video or even just type something out for me to read it on the show and send it to musiciangeek519@gmail.com with the subject Tales of the Gig. Tales of the Gig number 4, Accident on the Highway in the USA. So this is somewhere between 2003 and 2005. Probably right in the middle, roughly 2004. I was in a band based out of Phoenix, Arizona that was on the road touring continuously throughout the United States. Did most of the states, everything except for the Southeast and the Northwest. We did most of everything else though. So we would take with us out on the road. We had one of these full, I think it was a Dodge van. I can't remember. It wasn't a cube van. It was one of those nice fully loaded vans. It was a beautiful van. It had a sleeper in the back. You know, the back would actually fold down to a sleeper. It had a TV hanging in the back. And at the time, we ended up plugging in the singer's PlayStation 2 through there so we could watch, at the time, again, it was roughly around 2004, DVDs on there and or play PlayStation 2 when we were out on the road. The trailer, I think, was roughly about a 30-foot trailer that we towed in this big, fully loaded van. Roughly about 30 feet. We had the trailer packed to the gills. What we used at the time were 2 Mackie active 18-inch subs per side and 2 215 with the horn speakers per side, as well as I believe a 32-channel board, snake, full monitor rack. We had a ton of gear and we had this trailer overpacked. Now, when we were out on the road, we were on the road as a 4-piece band, but we also had with us our manager, our manager's wife, which also worked as kind of like our merch booth person as well too, and we had a lighting guy. This van could comfortably seat 5 people. Anything more than that, which we had to do from time to time, well, you could fit them, but it wasn't necessarily that comfortable at all. And as well, they had the manager's wife's car, which was a Lexus, which we called it the chase car. It was essentially the Lexus would be out in front of us, and back roughly around 2004, that's when they had those mic phones. I don't know if they're called mic phones, little cell phones that had a 2-way radio feature too, since we were going all across the country and cell phone prices, even in the States at that time, never became that reasonable. So we'd have these little 2-way radios. So since we were towing this huge 30-foot trailer behind us, we would have the Lexus that would be called the chase car that would go out and scout out in advance for us for mainly parking spots, any intersections that were going to be a pain in the butt, because it's not like just driving, even a tour bus if we were to have one of those or anything else. Towing a trailer like that with a van is not the easiest feat. Anyways, so this is, I want to say it's summertime. It's middle of the week. We're leaving one gig, and I want to say, again, when you're out on the road, you don't always remember where you are when you're touring constantly, what city you're in. It's not uncommon to forget that. I'd like to say we were about 200 miles south of Kansas City, roughly. I remember it was midweek, and I also remember that it was completely beautiful driving conditions. About 2 p.m. roughly, not a cloud in the sky, sunny, dry. Like I said, about 200 miles roughly south of Kansas City. Our light guy is up to do his shift of driving. We would rotate driving shifts throughout the van. You'd ride shotgun and supposed to be help navigating. Then you'd go to the bucket seats. Then you'd get to be in the sleeper. He'd just woken up. He had about an hour after waking up from a nice 8-hour solid sleep. Fully rested. He's fully rested. He's got a couple Red Bulls in him, sober as a judge, gets behind the wheel, starts driving. Then the trailer starts to do this, starts wagging to fishtail, and then it starts to wag uncontrollably where it's impossible to keep control of the van. And then wham, we hit a Jersey wall at probably a good, I want to say anywhere between 45 and 65 miles per hour. Head on in this van. We hit so hard. I remember I was riding shotgun. We hit so hard, I saw oncoming traffic in the other lane of the highway. I thought for sure, there's no way these Jersey walls, I thought for sure with all the weight of everything that's in this trailer, it was going to push us right through there and we were going to go into oncoming traffic with no issues at all. No, we hit that thing. We bounce off of it. The axle of the trailer snaps. The trailer lands on its side and slides probably a good football field and a half down the highway. We're spun around. We come to, luckily, everybody behind us saw what was happening and slowed down. So we were good there. Our guitar player was actually in the sleeper, but luckily, he actually had the seatbelt on through the sleeper. The sleeper is just basically a back bench seat that would fold down. He kept that on. Everybody was good. Nobody was hurt. So we get on our two-way radio and we radio ahead to the chase car, to the manager's wife. Chase car turns back around as we're waiting to get picked up. As we're sitting there, the highway patrolman comes out and is just livid, is absolutely pissed off all the hell. Gets out, slams his door. What in the F and F? What the blah, 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 blah. He's just losing it. He is not liking the fact at all that he's got an accident on his highway and he's going to, I don't know, have to do his job or a bunch of paperwork. Comes over to us. We're all sitting there, scared as all hell. Comes over to us. Which one of you's the driver? Our light guy says, that would be me, sir. Okay, right now, I want 2 things from you right now. I want your driver's license and your insurance. That's all I want. Okay. So he starts getting that paperwork together. And the highway patrolman's doing his thing with, a little tape measure on a wheel stick so he can document everything about the accident. There was nobody involved in the accident other than us. It fishtailed. It pushed us off the road. Nobody was hurt. There was no other vehicles involved. So at this point, the chase car had come back around with the manager and everybody. So what happened is as they're taking our reports, management comes over because it's actually management that owns the PA, the trailer, and everything, and insurance is under with them. We owned only our own instruments and amplifiers and whatnot, but management owned the entire PA system, the trailer, the van, everything. They come around to give all the insurance information to the police officer, and then the manager takes the Lexus and goes over and gets a U-Haul. I don't know if it was exactly the brand name U-Haul, but we get a U-Haul truck. The trailer, with all the gear, as I said, snapped off the axle and slid down the highway, and it's on its side. Walls of the trailer are caved in. So we get a flatbed and a little mini crane to come over and basically lift what's left of the trailer up, put it on the flatbed, and we take the flatbed to a scrapyard. We go to the scrapyard, they get another crane and like a jaws of life, and basically crack open the trailer like an egg. We go through everything, we get all of our gear out, and we load it into the U-Haul. Keep in mind, we're still mid-tour at this point. We've still got quite a few dates left in this tour. So, we crack open the trailer, literally crack it open, kind of like an egg, with this huge crane, and then we get all the gear out. Now, the only thing that was damaged is, unfortunately, the lead singer's acoustic guitar was a pancake. He had one of those cases that wasn't quite a gig bag, wasn't quite a hard shell, kind of the thick plasticky, kind of leathery, and in the cargo hold with everything, it got mushed. Other than that, though, The gear was all really banged up, really scratched on all the speakers because we normally did pack that trailer extremely tight. It was so tight in that huge trailer, you couldn't fit a pencil or a drumstick in there. So I think that helped most of the gear. So then, now, we've got roughly about 7 people out on the road. The trailer's totaled. The van is totaled. We've got the Lexus, and we've got a box truck. So for the rest of the tour, it was 5 guys like this in a Lexus. In the back, you could fit 3 people, but if you're the guy in the middle, oh my God, does that suck. 2 up front and 3 inside of a little box car. We were spoiled before that. No sleeper for us to kick back on, no bucket seats in the back where you had a whole chair kind of like this to your own with your own arms or anything like that. No, we were spoiled. Nothing for the rest of the tour. When we actually got to the next gig, like I said, unfortunately, lead singer's acoustic guitar was pancaked. Everything worked. Speakers were banged up and had obvious dings in them, but every piece of equipment worked. We fired up everything at soundcheck ahead of time, normally like we did, and everything worked. But it was really not a lot of fun sitting in the back of a Lexus like this or in a U-Haul truck with 3 guys when there's only really supposed to be 2 back there. Yeah, not fun or comfortable at all. Well, I guess that does it for Tales of the Gig number 4. Accident on the highway in the USA. And again, everyone, please keep sending me your gig stories. You can take a selfie video and send it in, or you can just type it up and I'll read it off in one of the episodes. Please send your stories to musiciangeek519@gmail.com with the title Tales of the Gig. Thanks for checking out this video, everybody. Do what makes you happy.